Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Duo Esports Gold Platinum Competitive Series third place matchup between third seed the Amumus and first seed Active Rush. Joining me on the broadcast is side for Active Rush. They are using, I believe, an E-sub in the mid lane, so they will lose out on the first two bans. Yeah. Couple more bans to come through for both of these teams. Both the Nautilus and the Thresh taken away. No hook champions will be in this game here, and Papa Skips, the substitute top laner for Active, be possibly hovering his pickup here.
Now, do you think that's Greg is mid on jungle?
Uh, it could be even support. I doubt it, but I know that Active Rush want to try a couple things out here. I'm going to put my money on it being a Gragas jungle just because that's where we most often see him, but Gragas is a bit of a flex pick and can go in some of the other roles. Daniel M locking in the Jax. That'll be in the top lane for Icy. Could again be a flex pick into this jungle here, but probably not. And we have a couple more picks on the list here. Zyra Hover and locking to come through for Daddy Zillion. Been one of his comfort picks throughout the season. Did indeed play in the semifinal matchup against EG. Actually, did not quite come on top with that pick, but hopefully they don't pair with the Vayne this time around and they have a bit of a better laning phase. So I'm going to ask you, Awo,
Yes.
how do you feel about the bot lane so far? We have a Lucian and a Zyra into an Ezreal and something else. What do you think you would like to see out of the support role?
I would say something long ranged because Asriel doesn't want skill falling, and I guess not.
I guess not.
I
We have
guess
a
not.
Leona Ezreal in this bottom lane here, so gonna be a little hectic, that's for sure, between these two champions. I don't think you necessarily agree with that, though.
Um, it could work. It could work. Since Syra is pretty swishy. Um, if bot lane gets a gank, Syra will most likely be dead. The Lucian could get away by himself, but Syla is kind of in trouble if she misses her snare.
Yeah, definitely. We are gonna have to keep our eyes on this bottom lane. Shouldn't be a snoozer of a lane with a Lucian and a Leona on both of the ends here. Couple of the bans are indeed coming through. Scion and Echo taken away on the side of the Mumus. Not going to quite give Papa Skips the Scion pickup. Very strong tank, very powerful initiator in the team fight. So overall, a very good champion.
Mm-hmm.
And oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's a very underpicked champion, but I guess not gonna quite give it over to Fonzo, who also is not going to get his Oriana that he has played all season long. Been, I believe, his most played. Instead, we might see a Silas in the mid lane.
I guess both team just wants to run at each other, looking at the comps so far.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're probably going to see a little bit more of that as well right now. Active Rush hovering their last two pickups here. They need to get something for the mid and top lane. So far, we have a Shen lock-in for Papa Skips. Pretty sure that is going to be a Gragas in the jungle. What do you think we'll see, Mad?
Um, into a Silas mid. I'm not sure.
Well, we're about to find out here. Could still be a Silas
Vlad.
top, but just a safe potential blind pick. Going to go with Vladimir here for Jaja Joshi. We'll see how that pickup goes. And of course, Silas can be flexed in both mid and top lanes, so they know it's going to be Vladimir in the mid. Fonz, could pick something else on this end to try and counter
Nico.
that Vladimir, and
Nico.
Nico hovered, and will it be locked in? Yes, it will.
I haven't seen Nico much in play. So what do you think of that pick?
I mean, Nico's a pretty powerful champion. She has a really nice ultimate in the Pop Blossom. She has a pretty good kit with a fair share of crowd control and damage in it. But even then, this could be a flex pick because we have seen Nico with that on-hit build in the top lane. So
Yeah.
Jax in the jungle, Silas in the mid lane. Definitely a lot of flex is possible on the end for Amumus, and we'll have to wait until Spectator delay until we know 100% what's going to happen. As for the end for Active Rush, though, we know where all of them are going. Shen in the top lane, Gragas in the jungle, Vladimir in the mid lane, and Lucian Zyra in this bottom lane here. Let's talk about the mid lane as we now hop out of the spectator delay. We notice a confirmed Silas versus Vladimir. I know that you being the mid lane expert that you are, how do you feel about that matchup?
I feel like Vladimir wins. He shouldn't be get behind if he's if they're evenly skilled. I feel like Vladimir should have the edge, shaping wise, because Silas
All right.
does get a little bit nerfed thingy in a previous patch. I'm not sure what patch, but
Yeah, Silas did get a little bit of a nerf to his damage numbers, I believe, so not as strong as before. But if we look at this from the Silas's point of view, he has a couple of alright ultimates. He has
yeah,
the Stand United, he has the Culling, Stranglethorns, and the Hemoflag. So, all in all, not a bad set of ultimate choices for him.
yeah, he has the Syra. The Syra ultimate is probably really good actually.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at both of the team comps here, though. We know both of them kind of want to run on each other and kill each other, so all in all, it's going to be a very entertaining game. But whose team comp do you think is better?
Um, hmm, I think I would give it to Active Rush a little bit more because they do have a little bit more heal and sustain. Um, like the top side, I in team fights I would give it to the Nico early and then Shen late. And jungle I would give it to Gragas early and Jax late, but Gragas could still go into the late game and be a really good team fighter. And
Yeah,
Vlad is late game also.
yeah, definitely so. Not some bad scaling on the end for Active Rush. They have that super tank kind of as a substitute for the lack of a Scion in the Shen. Overall, still very tanky. Gragas not bad in the late game either. I do think that Knight of Six, who is previously known as Fosno, so a little less Fosno confusion on this end. I do think Ezreal has a bit better late game than Lucian does, but Lucian not a bad late game champion by any means, just a little bit more dominant in this laning phase.
Yeah, definitely. But um, the flag counteracts how losing. Uh, flag makes up for what losing lacks in late game. I feel.
True, true. Definitely the case here. We're gonna have an entertaining bloodbath for sure on our hands here between the first seed Active Rush at 16-2, a third seed the Amumus at 11-7 here. So both these teams very different routes to where they are now. Active Rush is maybe a little disappointing for where they would have liked to be ending up, but Mumu is 11-7, pretty good for the regular season. Very good, albeit close, shown in quarters, and a bit of a rougher time against Midwest Express in the semifinals. And they're hopefully looking to get the third place medal for themselves here.
What do you think of Claysa on Nico?
Um, it's interesting. I'll give it that. It may not entirely be bad because I get the thought process. Your abilities will slow, and therefore you can catch up to them a little bit more. So we'll see how much of an impact it has on this Shen. Will be a little annoying for him in the laning phase and may be helpful in gank setup, but to my knowledge, even though Jax doesn't have bad early ganks, he does want to kind of just sit it out, farm in the jungle a little bit, as opposed to 24/7 ganking.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be really good in team fights for picks, potential picks. With if if Nico builds Twin Saddles,
Mm-hmm.
the Hextech that suits Icicles, I forgot its name.
Yes, Hextech GLP, I believe is its
GLP.
name. So, yeah. All in all, pretty interesting set from both of these teams. I do think that we're gonna have to keep our eye on this bottom lane. Gonna be very hectic. You have MP on this Gragas pickup here. Definitely would not mind going to that lane at all if they play it properly and let the Leona Ezreal shove in. They could easily get a pretty nice gank setup on that. At least blow a flash out of Knight of Six. To consider the damage in this lane is very high.
Yeah. Ooh. What do you think of this 5 point where Nico goes in the mid lane bush?
Um, Interesting, to put it one way, that's for sure. But doesn't really net much out of it. Neither team throwing
Yeah.
down too much early vision. So, all in all, going to be interesting. I do want to see Knight of Six go for a little bit of poke in the bush. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but whenever your jungler starts on the red buff and you are on the red side consequently, it's not a bad idea just to get a little bit of early harass, throw a mystic shot out there and get a little bit of early harass in lane. They're not going to go for it, and we just proceed back to standard lane. And judging from the position of that bottom lane, it does look like Active Rush are going to hit level 2 first. So hopefully, take advantage of that level 2 power spike that you have on this Lucian and the
Yeah.
Zyra. 6 CS and counting, a little bit of poke onto FDWB. And does look like the Amumus bot lane are going to have to back off, respect that early pressure there. Pretty close in CS, but that 2-3 CS difference now does make a pretty big difference.
However, Asheville got the Kleptophog and got a bag of gold, so
Yeah,
might be not
not bad.
too bad. This
Not bad.
Shen is not having a good day top.
No, he's not. I mean, you're up against a Nico, you're a Shen. You kind of just have to eat the harass. Can't do too much about it there. Um, Albeit it is going to call a bit of a gank in this top lane. Gimpy making his way up, and I see no vision in any of these bushes here. Gimpy takes the tri-bush, looking for something in this
Yeah,
top lane here
flash.
on towards Icy. There's the body slam. There's the
Yep,
taunt.
there's no
Icy in trouble
flash.
here, forced to use his flash defensively. Tries to get some damage answered back, but 1-0 a win. Down this bottom lane, Leona goes in and take a bit of damage on a return though.
And Jax is here.
Oh no! So, oh no, Daddy Zillion, the Flash gets after with his Zenith Blade, and that is gonna be 1 kill so far. Make that 2. Knight of 6 picks up his first.
Explosive so far. And not from
Yeah.
the lanes we expect.
No, not at all. A little bit of pressure in this top lane, and yeah, I mean, all in all, very interesting stuff. The bot lane play. Have to be careful on that end, and Gragas looking for another early gank. Gimpy taking the long route over these wards, trying to get something icy. No flash, all sorts of trouble. There's the slow, there's the cask, there's the taunt as well. They go on to the Nico there, and she's not able to deceive her way out of that one. Gimpy picking up his first.
Yeah. So the reason why I gave Vlad the edge is because he doesn't use Mega.
Mm-hmm.
They both
Yeah,
have
yeah.
healing, they both have sustain, but Vlad doesn't use Mega.
Correct, and I see that mana bar dropping low for Fonzo here. Have to be a little careful of his mana usage, as it is going to drop, and as you mentioned, yes, they both have that sustain, but at the end of the day, Vladimir winning out on that resources.
They're going, Jax is going to give me Gragas.
Oh no, Gimpy. A little bit of trouble, not going to get caught out though. Now Jaja Joshi getting a little bit of damage back on towards Daniel M. Don't think he has the damage or ability to kill him, so Jax, Daniel M just able to walk away on that one.
Something interesting is Vlad is opted for the Ignite instead of TP. What do you think of that?
A little interesting. Maybe not going in his favor either. Actually, top lane probably keeps getting some nice damage onto Icy here. So Shen able to answer back in this lane, but Nico will be able to heal back up with that corrupting potion.
Yeah, remind me, does Nico or Snare or Stun? I forget.
I believe it is a snare. So overall, not that hard crowd control,
Yeah.
but still pretty effective. Land on a bunch of people, get a massive shield, and you're good to go. Now, I am going to ask you, what do you think we're going to see out of the Nico this game? We've seen a mix of the on-hit build and the AP build as well. So,
Oh, judging by the Glazer Artman, I'm pretty sure it's the AP build that, like, you know, Figar does, where he goes.
mhm,
Yeah, I think it's a
yeah,
little bit of that.
going for that full-on nuke build to guarantee it as much damage out as possible. Back to this bottom lane here. At the start that Lucian and Cyber really want, both sitting at a death AP so far, doing good in the CS numbers, but it's the small things that kind of add up in this lane where you have this Ezreal poking away with the Mystic shots and able to get those Klepto stacks as well, so he's sitting on a little bit more gold than he normally would.
And he also has a kill and assist. So.
Yep. 500 gold lead for Knight of 6 in this bottom lane. Additionally, I heard that there might be some form of visual error going on the stream. Hopefully you can get to that and update it.
Oh, my bad.
Alright, lights on?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's
Alright, lights on, lights on! Alright, and straight to a fight as well. Gimpy is going to be in trouble here. He is going to go down before that Stand United is going to save him. The Solar Flare right on top of Vladimir. Will net another. Oh no! You hate to see it. Jaja Joshi blows both summoners in return.
Is it back now?
Hopefully, that's for sure. But either way, bit of a play in the river. Nice pickup on the end from Amumus. 1-4 on the board so far. Jack sitting at 2-0 and 2 in this early game. A prime position to carry. Up top though, Icy, bit of a rough spot and not even going to matter. The Pop Blossom not popping anything. And that is going to be another kill. Gimpy tries to steal the dragon, but it's going to get stunned up and taken out in return. Not getting the Spine Steal off. Now down towards this bottom, and Villain Glass is looking for something on towards 96. Can go hard though, as his team just lost that dragon.
Yeah, do you think it was worth it? You die for
Gimpy? No, absolutely not. It's a cloud. If it was like a mountain, I'd be like, okay, you know, maybe, but it's a cloud. It is still valuable and some nice out of combat movement speed, but Gimpy by far being the worst end on that trade. Ends up giving up his life and the dragon as well, so bit of a rough spot that he's in so far. Fonzo also having these double buffs in mid lane don't work wonders for Sylas. So right now, Mumu's sitting in a very nice early game lead for themselves. What do you think Active Rush have to do to really stop that?
I think they should focus on top side, since top side is the winning side currently. I would say try to get the heal and try to summon at top.
Alright. Yeah, definitely something to keep our eye on. Villain Glasses goes in underneath the tower, just gets the damage answered back and gets blown up by the Leon and Ezreal damage. FGWB picking up that kill now. Gimpy in a little bit of trouble here. There's the Leap Strike, the Flash, Dak and the ball, and Knight of 6 looking for something on towards Downey, slaying the Ignite and the Minion Autos. Is it going to be enough to kill him? No, it's not, and Knight of 6 able to get a kill back onto Daddy Zillion.
Things are looking rougher and rougher for Active Rush.
Yeah, and you have to think that's a little concerning how much the playoff brackets are mirroring each other here. You have your 16-2 first seed team in IBSG lose 1-2 in the third place match yesterday. Might just happen as well here. Gimpy and Papa Skips are looking for something on towards Daniel Lam though. 2v2 in the Rift Herald fight. Who's going to pick up the Rift Herald? Daniel Lam picks up the kill. Papa Skips going to go down as well, and the Rift Herald is going to go over in favor of the Amumus as well. So disaster for Active Rush.
The Rift was one way they could have gotten back, but now Amumus has it.
Yeah, now you're in a very rough predicament if you're Active Rush, sitting at a 4,000, better be a 5,000 gold lead before the 15-minute mark. That is not what you want to say.
See, I would say wait for late game, but both teams have really good scaling, except in the Jax and in the Vlad.
Oh no, Food Glasses
no.
might have gone a little too deep on that, and Knight of 6, and FDW would be able to clean up another kill. The teleport out of Fonzo just for good measure, and they're going to be able to start pushing this bot lane.
And Silas does have.
Oh no, Papa skips, baited and outplayed on that, and Daniel, and with the kill, and Amumus are just making so much noise on this map right now. That's going to be the Rift Total charge in the bottom lane. Fonzo, Joshi tanks a turret shot. Rift Total not going to quite secure this turret just yet.
But they might get top lane. Yep, top lane did fall.
They will be able to get that. Fonzo not able to land the chains here, but doesn't even matter. Gets the flash out of Jaja Joshi anyways, and Silas definitely winning this matchup so far. So, little rough stuff on this end right now. Villain and Glasses 0-3 on this Lucian. Now, you don't expect this out of, one of your top 80 carries in the GPCS, and maybe a bit of a rough time, maybe not the right minds that they have with these subs. The Rutledge definitely plays a big role in their comms, and not quite being here today, a little bit costing Active Rush, and I mean, we saw these massive gold leads yesterday, and we know that they're very hard to come back from. I think on this end, it's still early enough for Amumus to make mistakes. There are still some turrets up on the map, but this is going to be a very difficult mountain to climb.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's also going to be the next Cloud Dragon going in favor of them as well, so they are going to be going fast on this end for sure. Going to be difficult for the end of Active Rush to really have an answer to these rotations now.
Yeah. Luckily for Active Rush, it wasn't a mountain. 5-3.
Oh no, Daddy Zillion, a good stopwatch and a cast out of Gimpy does indeed save him. Villain Glass is trying to answer back, but team's already left the fight, and he's going to go back to base for that Knight of 6, picking up his 4th kill in the game on this Ezreal.
I think Feeling got desperate and gets fighting.
Yeah, definitely desperate's one word to put it right here. Kinda didn't have to go in for that play. Definitely tried to overforce it right now, and this 0-6 bottom lane right now out of Daddy Zillion and Villain Glass is definitely supplying the Amumus with the lead that they need, and the only thing that's really worked for them this game is top lane. And let me tell you, your top lane tank ahead, that's nice and all, but is it really going to do anything? Probably not. And Papa Skip's probably about to go down here as well, has the flash, but really no point in using it in that situation. And now Nico is getting back into this game as well.
Yeah. Well, Nico wasn't really behind, per se. He was still out farming the Shen, even though he had kills.
Oh no, Villain Glasses, we've seen this one before. Is he going to go down? FTWB Flash Ignite just for good measure, because why not? And Villain Glasses 0-5 on the Lucian so far. Nothing working out for Active Rush this game.
Hello. Hello. Oh.
Hello.
Just my test.
Okay. Well, Jada Joshi's also testing something right here, but it's not going to work out for him. Daddy Zillion also getting evaporated right now, and this is just not the Active Rush that we've seen all season long. The cast going to miss out of Gimpy as well from the flash. Rotation in the mid lane, and big yikes.
I feel like... So...
Yeah. It's a very rough game right now, and this is a... dear God, that's a 12,000 gold lead. 17 minutes in, that's almost 1,000 gold per minute, and Villain Glasses literally can't do anything in this game. Now 0-6, can't even farm his Krugs here. There's just so much pressure and control on the end from Amumus. That is a solar flare onto Daddy Zillion, who should be evaporating in a second. There we go. Activerse trying to get something back onto this one. Jadadushi will pick up his first kill of the game. Papa Skips looking for something. There's the damage. There's the taunt. Is it enough to get the kill onto them? No, it is not. And Knight of 6 going in for a little bit of damage. 3 to 18. Activerse gets something. Right now, something is definitely not the only thing they need. They need a lot of mistakes out of Amumus at this stage of the game. And, I mean, we're getting to that 20-minute marker. I don't think it would happen, but we have seen forfeits before in Duo Esports. Very difficult situation that they find themselves in here. 0-4 in turrets. And that's just poke right there, you know? 50% of Daddy Zillion's HP gone in an instant, so...
And is that just the Q? Was it the QW?
I think that was just the Q, so... big yikes to come through. Papa Skips has to be very careful trying to defend this turret here, so... All in all, very rough stuff for Active Rush. Now Nico pushing in this mid lane, Silas pushing in this bottom lane. Rush only has so many people to try and defend this here. And I'm just taking out one of the control words here. Oh yeah, whenever you're at this state of the game and you're this far behind, again, this game would have to go on for at least a minimum another 20 minutes. Before we can even talk about Active Rush and how they would win this. So, all in all, a very rough spot to be in.
Do you think they'll start the bearing at 20? Or around 20?
They should. They have all this gold. They're super far ahead. You have a Trinity Force on your Jax this early on. They have the Mountain Dragon as well, so that's going to help them deal even more damage to this Baron Nashor. And of course, Jax, not being a bad Baron taker by any means. So, they should go for it. It gets a possible point where they could throw, but it would have to be a ridiculous throw where everyone's doing the Baron on sub 50 HP, because right now there is a 3-level difference in the jungle.
Yeah.
No, there's not really any, burst damage. This isn't the 40-minute Orianna Shockwave or the 35-minute Lux Laser that steals the Baron away from you. This is basically no burst on the end for Active Rush. There is an 80 carry that is ahead on the end of Knight of 6. Everyone on the team of the Amumus is ridiculously far ahead in this game, and Baron Nashor almost 100% secured.
I would say Greg could make a heal play and try to steal away the bearing, but Jax is 3 levels ahead.
Yeah, gonna be very rough for Gimpy to manage a steal from being this far behind right now. Definitely be a mismite on Daniel M if that were to happen, but right now Mumus have a Christmas tree worth of lights on the Baron Nashor right now. Very much warded up. They could go for it at any point in time, and they very much should. Right now, Villain Glass is a bit of a rough spot, but the Nico is the least ahead member on the end for the Amumus. They might be able to get a kill here. Icy with the flash. Villain Glass is looking for something. Papa Skips also on the chase here, but Nico has that Glacial Augment, can get the slow off. Still on the run here is Icy, and it doesn't look like they're able to chase. That would have been one of the kills that could have gotten back in this game. Icy creating a little bit here, but doesn't get hit by the taunt, and the rest of his team is on that Baron Nashor. FTWB tags Gimpy. The two-shot barrage goes wide, but it is still Amumus that
Yes,
get the
feels.
Baron. Knight of 6 taken low from this one. Is he gonna get taken out at the Tides of Blood? Not gonna get the kill. And now that is the rest of Amumus just dropping active rush. Papa Skip's gonna go down. Danny Zillion gets killed by the leap strike. That is a triple kill coming in for Jax. Villain Class is the only member up on the end for active rush, but he can't do anything.
Yeah, that gets way too ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, when this is 20,000 gold lead, 20 minutes, absolutely ridiculous. I think the biggest goal lead we've seen all season long. I recall, imagine IBSG was pretty big, but I don't think it ever came close to this. So right now, the second inhibitor going down as well, and I think at this point, you have to start talking about the next game. This game is absolutely lost right now. Knight of 6. Doing so good on this Ezreal right now. Everyone on active rush, just not being themselves here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, yeah, taking stock of some of the CS numbers, to active rush's credit, their mid lane and AD carry aren't too far behind CS. Top lane and jungle a bit different, but even so, this is, like I said, almost unthrowable on the end for the Amumus. They just need to do some basic macro. You know, they already have 2 inhibitors. They could get the 3rd, but they don't really have to. They could just run it down mid lane and from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they could. I think they could have. But they want the top inhib right now.
Yeah.
And Jax is going for the dragon.
Yeah. Gonna play it by the numbers, no harm in doing so really. This inhibitor gonna go down very quickly, and triple inhibitors down at 25 minutes is very, very hard to play from. And on the end for active rush, you almost have to try and do something, even if it's not gonna work, you know, just lying down and doing nothing or letting the enemy team fully dictate everything that's happening. Maybe not what you want to have happen. So Daniel M's actually on one of the Nexus turrets right now. Active Rush are going to come around the corner, but the turret already goes down. The cask knocks him back. And the 3rd inhibitor of the game going to go down. This is just a whitewash right here. So Active Rush not really able to do anything. There's a taunt to come through. It might just be a kill on the Icy, and it will. But Active Rush will be able to survive this fight. The rest of Mumu's just peeling back on this one. Gimpy getting focused and taken down. Villain Glass is next on the list. Stand United will save him, but not his support. Gets a cone off on towards Fonzo. Papas keeps trying to do something as well, but it is not going to matter. Knight of 6 just dueling him and taking him out in the fountain here. Papa Skips trying to get something. There's the arcane shift. There's the moves. It doesn't matter. Papa Skips picks it up anyways. But it's not really going to matter here. Jada Joshi not going to get anything off of that recall. And active rush, they live to see another day, but their base is in shambles.
I think it was a little bit disrespectful from guys to 1v1 losing when he was in fountain. I think there wasn't a need to do that.
Yeah, definitely not something that needed to happen, but either way, if you're active rush, you have 3 waves of super minions piling into your base. You're okay with first wave clear goes, but this is still going to be a very difficult battle for them.
Yeah.
And like I said, you kind of have to start talking about the next game here. What are you going to do differently? What are you going to take away? Like, what are you going to take away from a game like this?
I would say the Jax. I felt like the Jax had the most impact.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That he did. Might want to get something away from this Leona as well. FTWB doing a great job so far in this game. Icy looking for something onto Gimpy. They're able to find it, and Gimpy is just gonna pop like a balloon. Gonna go down on this end. That is a two-man solo flare, two-shot barrage, and Pop Blossom coming through on the end for the Amumus. They'll kill Icy, but the rest of them are gonna fall right afterwards. Deli's gonna go down. Papa skips as well, and Jaja Joshi not long for this world. That is a dominating 20,000 gold lead victory. Clobber stomping out of the Amumus. So that was game one, and that is not the end of the series. This was not a best of one, and there will still be a little bit more of the games to come through for us here. Hopefully, Active Rush able to shake that one off, even though very difficult to do so. Let's take a look at some of those numbers. We know that they're going to be big.
22,000 damage in a 28-minute game from the Asphalt.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage here. We know 1v1 Lucian in the fountain. Maybe not needed, but definitely a little bit of good measure on that one. And Active Rush's numbers weren't even that bad either, albeit Billingcliff is getting out damaged by his support. Unlucky, but overall very difficult game for Active Rush. Very great game out of the Amumus here. If we're going to take a stock of the wards, everyone didn't buy DD Control Ward. Warding wasn't the only issue that game, that's for sure.
Everyone bought at least one control ward.
Yeah, so I mean, all in all, that's good. Don't have to change too much about that. Just maybe don't go in when the play's already not worked. Hopefully, have more than 0 winning lanes and work from there. But all in all, we will have the second game between Active Rush and the Amumus up very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dewey Sports GPCS third place matchup here between Active Rush and the Amumus. Game 1 was probably the biggest gold lead we saw all season long in favor of the Amumus. Once again, joining me is Wu, and I'm going to ask you, do you think we're going to see that last game again?
No, I don't think so. I think active authors will adapt, hopefully. But if anything, the goalie won't be that big if there was a lead, I believe. But I think I think active rush will adapt this game.
Yeah, I hope so for sure, for the sake of us having a series now. Um, they're still going to lose the first two bands, which a little discouraging. Seeing how you ideally want to take a little bit away from that game, but what do you think their one ban is going to be?
I would say the Jacks because the Leo did good. However, see um the Jacks did all the early game plays. Like the Leona did good late game. Uh, at outside in lane and then outside of lane, but the Czechs just out pressured the Gragas. He invaded them and almost killed them that one time when they met in the jungle.
Yep, there is going to be the Jax pickup. Probably for Daniel M again. We have seen Icy pick it over the course of the season, but I mean, I think after that kind of game, why wouldn't you want to play it again?
Yeah, for the Mumus, why would you not run back with something you won so convincingly on?
Yeah, definitely. And right now, this is going to be difficult. Bit more of a safer bottom lane on the end for Active Rush with this Braum and the Ezreal. Not as much of an all-in lane, which obviously all-in lanes, very much kind of all or nothing kind of deal. They either go big or go home, and last game they definitely went home.
Yeah, I, and this, wow, Amumus got both their power picks. Shuno.
Yeah, definitely. So they are going to get their power picks here, and very interesting that Nice picking up the Lucian here, showing Villain Glasses how to play the champion now. And FGWB again on this Leona. He's been on it all season long right now, and um, looking to close out the season with it as well. Also, Gimpy. Oh no.
No,
Alright, that's fitting.
what's
You're playing Amumu against the Amumus.
does Skimpy have a history on Amumu that I don't know about?
But yeah, right now, a couple more bans to come through. Silas and Oriana, the takeaways on the side for Active Rush. Not going to give Fonzo what he's been winning on all season or what he just won on. Yeah, knight of 6 about to pick his champion right here. It's going to be the LeBlanc coming in for Fonzo, which means we don't quite know our mid lane matchup just yet. But what would you like to see out of Active Rush into a LeBlanc?
Yeah, LeBlanc. Um, hmm. I, you could either answer it by with another assassin. Uh, I would say Lysandra, to be honest. Lysandra is a pretty safe champion against any mid laners that want to all in you.
Yeah. Oh, Zoe pickup locked in another volatile, maybe a bit more of a volatile mid lane matchup here. Zoe into LeBlanc. How do you feel about that? Yeah, definitely. Uh, Well, right now, top lane matchup going to be interesting. I think that it's going to favor Jax a little bit in these trades, but Kennen has the range advantage. And come level 6, I do think that he will have a bit more of an advantage in these team fights. He very much has that running you play style. And if I'm looking at the two comps here, I kind of like what Active Rush have assembled. They have the they have the Amumu. They have a lot of AoE damage that the end for Amumus do have to be careful of. Yeah, definitely. Right now, we are going to have an interesting game in our hands, but I'm going to ask you though, what do you think of the end for the Amumus team comp? Where do you think that excels?
I would say jungle again. I feel like Hecarim's a more high tempo uh, jungler than Amumu. I feel like he has a faster clear than Amumu. So if Hecarim could outpace Amumu and probably invade him, which is one of Amumu's biggest weaknesses, invades. I think it comes down to the jungler's early game again. What do you think, Suno?
Right now, I do think it's interesting what you have out of both of these teams. I'm a little inclined to say that the early game from Mumus is better. You have this early game jungler in the Hecarim. You have a little bit more damage that you're packing as well. And right now, I think that they're just going to make some more early moves on the map. We saw them make a lot of early moves in the last game. We're hoping that they can make that again. Active Rush are a little bit safer, so they're not going to be going in 2v2 as much, 2v3, whatever you may have it as you want. But yeah, so I think that Active Rush can repel that kind of game from happening again, but they are going to want to play it safe.
Imagine if I had a real weapon. Imagine if I had a real weapon.
Jeez, the disrespect from Jax. Yes, keep going back.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, this is going to be very interesting for ourselves here. So Lucian and Leona again, pretty volatile bottom lane after the Ezreal and Braum. Not as good in this early game, but all it takes is one misstep, and from there you can go with that.
So, what do you think of Amumu not starting blue? He started Raptors and then went to red.
That's interesting. It tells me that he probably might want to do a full clear, and potentially reset from there instead of going for a bit of an early gank. He's going to be at a mana disadvantage as opposed to if he had started his blue buff and kind of leech from his bottom lane. So probably doesn't want to gank early on. Again, going for his Krugs and clearing his top half.
Yeah. We see an early Amumu invade. Oh, guess I won.
Just a ward thrown
Yep,
down
yes.
by Gimpy here. He is a little bit more healthy now in the jungle, and yeah, not gonna go for too much in this early game right now. Could go for something in this bottom lane. While running with bottom lane, FTW getting a little bit of a stun off, some damage traded back, but overall that goes slightly in the favor of the Amumus.
Oh no.
FTW with another, oh no, it gets caught out by the stun. There's the ignite as well, has to be careful.
They don't
F6
know
trying to answer
Gimpy is
back
bot.
with
They
the
don't know.
damage.
Oh wow.
Oh, that they don't. That is a deep dive coming through. First blood coming through on the side of Lucian. It's a double kill so far for Knight of 6. And now Gimpy's in trouble, able to answer back onto FTWB. But that gank did not work out in Active Rush's favor. Be it Daniel M looking for something in this top lane. Papa skips. There's the flash. able to get out with the lightning rush as well. But so far, so good on the end of Amumus. Now in the mid lane, getting a little bit of action as well. Paddle Star not going to land, the minions will block them, and Jaja Joshi coming out on top in that trade. Actually, another gank coming out of Daniel M. It's going to be a little bit of damage onto Jaja Joshi. Doesn't have any follow-up from the LeBlanc, and overall pretty low on HP.
So who do you think is going to make the first move to Fire Drake?
And you have this early Inferno. I think it might be a move, seeing how they've made a couple more moves in this early game. But yeah, overall it's looking pretty good for them so far. They should be able to get some wards on it later on, but we're still at the very, very early stages of the game. So not too much to happen. Zenith Blade not landing onto its target this time. But yeah, right now, game's a little bit more quiet. Still the lead in favor of the Amumus. Looking to take this one 2-0 over Active Rush. Definitely would be a pretty good feeling if they managed to do so. And right now, so far so good, but trading in the mid lane, Gimpy looking for something as well. Ezreal, little caught out, but able to get out with that Arcane Shift.
Daddy ceiling burns his flash to save villain.
Yeah, definitely. Just making sure that his AD carry is a-okay. Everything make sure that they are doing okay in this laning phase, but so far CSing a little difficult here, 52 to 40 in this bottom lane. 2 waves in the lead for Knight of 6. Villain Glass is a bit of a rough time right now, gonna have the wave shunned under his turret, and also gonna consequently miss a little bit of the CS. Oh no.
Oh.
We've seen this before. We've seen this before. Oh no! Hopefully we don't have 20 more pauses and 20 more minutes pass as well. Gimpy definitely having a bit of a PTSD moment of semi-finals. And yeah, so while we're in this downtime though, we'll want to ask you, what are your thoughts on the game right now?
It's going much calmer than last game. We top got like 5 ganks from both teams. 5 ganks total from both teams in the in like 3 minutes. It's much slower than last game. I could say that.
Yeah, definitely. Going slower for sure. You know, you have a bit more of a calm early game. Bottling getting a little spicy out of Lucian and Ezreal. So again, it's kind of that bottom lane that Mumus are kind of preying on.
Yeah. And speaking about Amumu, Gimpy is ready for a gank. Unless he gets disconnected, and it's good there. What the matchup I'm surprised about is mid lane. How Zoe is evenly. It's not that surprising actually, but kind of how Zoe is evenly trading the LeBlanc.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought
Um,
LeBlanc would have an advantage.
yeah, I mean, so far Zoe is doing some pretty good trading, but it is just about even in the mid lane. They're both the same level, basically the same CS. There's 3 CS down on the end for Fonzo, but it's not too much right now. Zoe is sitting on a sheen in comparison to just the Sapphire Crystal of LeBlanc, so I'm going to be packing a little bit more punch.
Yeah. So why the Crisco? Is it for farming? Do you think? Why?
Could be. I'm not entirely sure what that might be building into. Um, but it could just be for early farming and trading, something along those lines. It gives mana, obviously, so
Yeah.
all in all.
Oh wait. No. LeBlanc also got a dueling swing because LB started with a corrupting pot. If you look at the items, LB bought a Crisco and a ring and boots.
Yeah, definitely. A little interesting so far. Hopefully, Gimpy and his internet will be able to connect, and we'll get back into the game shortly. Right now, taking stock of our CS numbers top lane, a little bit of an advantage for Icy shoving the wave underneath the turret, getting some good CS through that. Jungle, pretty even. It's a little bit of a lead on the end for Hecarim, but that's probably just due to better clearing, I'd imagine, and both sitting at level 5 now will indeed hit their level 6 power spikes very soon, and yeah, should be able to make some early moves very soon.
Do you think Gimpy will go through with his gank? He's sitting by bot side.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, he's reconnected. Could go for this bot lane gank. There is a ward in that bush by Amumus, so very unlikely that it will work. And probably should know that it is warded as well, seeing how his bot lane has been pushed in the whole time. So he could go for this gank, but it's not going to work, and his time would probably be better spent somewhere else.
Yeah. How much gold does he have? He has 800.
But yeah, right now, we're gonna get right back into the game here. See if Gimpy goes for the gank with the blast cone. He probably will, but again, why should spend his time somewhere else? Goes away from there instead. Activists get a little bit of their breather in that pause time, and we resume. Alfonso taking a bit of a rough trade in the mid lane, has the mana advantage, but sitting at that health disadvantage right now.
And Amumu coming for the gank.
Oh, that he is. Something on Alfonso, but able to double distort out very easily. Probably would have needed to go for the flash ulti if he wanted to secure that, but Alfonso slippery enough on Blanc and able to get out. So right now, so far so good. I see Pop skips a little bit of a rough time for the cannon again. Yes, he is ranged and can harass, but at the same time, Jack's just ramming the wave into the turret over and over again. So, little difficult for him to deal with.
I think Gimpy just gave up his red. I think he knew
Uh,
Hecarim was up there. He walked from Raptors to that. He didn't do red. He didn't finish red. Do his top
no,
side.
didn't. So, able to get that right there. So, very interesting stuff. Gimpy trying to get a bit of an early gank as well, but I'm not entirely sure if they want to go for a tower dive.
Gimpy.
Oh
Oh
no,
no.
you hate to see it. As we can see through the pause timer, there's about 9 more minutes before Activerse will be forced to 4v5, and yeah, that wouldn't be good. Fortunately, Gimpy's internet is back, so there we go. Yeah, just internet. A little unfortunate. I heard that there are a couple of storms going around right now, so yeah, a little difficult for the teams to deal with. Alright, so we're gonna resume back into the game again. Gimpy reconnects, and yeah. Oh no, mid lane. Good night. That is gonna be a very easy, run over kill onto Jaja Joshi.
The CS numbers are interesting on top lane.
Yeah, I mean, Ken's starting to get back up a little bit in this, catching himself back up in the CS, but still gonna lose out on a couple just from the overall pressure that Jax gives in the lane.
Oh,
Actually, Trisha Barrage getting thrown down by Villain Glasses does not want Knight of 6 and FTWD to go for a tower dive here. And there you go, just a really quick trade from Knight of 6. Goes in with the auto attack on Relentless Pursuit, takes Villain Glasses down a half HP and forces them to reset. Gimpy, oh no. Well, I mean, I guess they don't want Daddy's Zillion to get dove, but Gimpy would have been a little bit better to be here if Villain was also here as well, because then they could have baited out a dive possibly, which would have been pretty high. Still has the cleanse
they
up on the
are
Ezra as well.
diving.
Solar Flare goes wide. I don't care that Gimpy's right there at all. Take a little bit of damage on the back half, and Daddy Zillion now chunked out and forced to reset.
But that's an ignite down for bot lane.
Yeah, but those are going to come back up pretty quickly on this end, so 96 continuing just to wail the damage on this turret here. FTWB with the Demolish proc as well, so that's going to be another turret plating, and this Goldie is just so big right now on the end from Amumus. Another game from Daniel M in the mid lane, Val, onto Jaja Joshi, misses the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, also Shadow sends him into the turret, and that will be a kill for Fonzo. All in all, pretty nice stuff to come through out of the Amumus. They're the ones that are making the early games plays in this game. And So far, so good. There's a Trisha barrage onto FDWB, but Active Rush not pulling the trigger just yet. 4 members of Amumus in their jungle. Arcane shift forward out of Villain and Glasses, but it's just going to be Active Rush sitting there and watching.
Yeah, Gimpy has been pushed out of his jungle a few times, yeah. Thanks
Yeah, a bit of a
Hector.
rough time.
Yeah, for Gimpy.
Now, right now, he's down about 20 CS and climbing away from his jungle counterpart in Daniel M. And this is just not the Active Rush we've seen all season long. Have to start making some plays of their own now, because this entire series they've let Amumus do everything that they want. And, I mean, clearly that's not working out for them. Onto landing both of the chains here in this mid lane, though, taking Zoe down to half HP. There is the damage onto Darius. He's just going to get blown up by Knight of 6 and FDWB. Gimpy trying to make something happen in this mid lane. There is the bandage toss. Will they be able to secure the kill on this one? Curse of the Sand Mummy comes out, but it is not going to matter. Gimpy is the one that takes the worst end of the trade, and another kill now for Amumus. Oh, there's the flash through with the counter strike, but Icy's still the one in trouble here. Will that be a kill for Active Rush? Flash again from Papa Skips. Yes, it will. Daniel, I'm trying to answer back on towards Jaja Joshi and will be able to take him out. That's 1 kill for Akram. Is that going to be 2? 1 more auto attack, and the Q will be enough to secure it. Now Papa Skips in trouble, but Fonzo, without any mana, cannot secure the double buffs. And now FTWB smacked down by Darius Lane, but not gonna matter. Active Rush gets something back out of that trade.
Did they get shut down though? I don't think they did.
No, they did. Daniel M sitting on a death now, was 2-0 on the Hecarim before. So they got a shutdown for themselves. It's Papa Skips that is the again, that's the top lane kind of working out for Active Rush on this end. Icy not doing bad by any means here, but Papa Skips just able to find some of those return kills.
Yeah. And Canyon is going to be huge in team fights.
Yeah, definitely. Cannon's going to be pretty big in these fights. He's going to be wanting to rush right into those fights, stun as many people as possible, and get his damage off with Gimpy. So, all in all, pretty good stuff. Ezin going for a bit of a ward here. Could find himself in trouble. He is a Braum, so they don't want to commit too much onto him. FTWB gets hit by the knockup. Hackram gets hit by the sleep. The Solar Flare goes wide, able to get a little bit of damage onto Gimby, but FTWB may not be where he wants to be right now. Now it's Fonz that's in trouble. There is the sleep as well. The Paddle Star not going to be able to land, not quite in range. So far, so good out of Amumus. Active Rush are finding a little bit more ground in this game, though. And now FTWB going in on that Leona pickup. Trying to find something. Both of ends are pretty tanky. Ekram comes flying in though. There's the ulti out of Gimpy, but it is not going to matter. Jajo Josie's going to fall down. Gimpy to go down next as well. Alfonso picking up that kill for himself.
It's Saska. Saska.
Yeah, pretty rough stuff for them as well. Going to be difficult for them to really do anything. Papa Skip's going on towards Icy now, trying to get an answer kill back. Icy a little too deep for that control ward and gonna go down as well. 3-0 on this cannon. So definitely a bit of a rough situation on their end right now. Bottom turret does go down, the first turret of the game in favor of Amumus. I'm gonna ask you, what Active Rush are slowly getting back into this one, but what do they really need to do to break through and get back?
I would say once again play to the top side. Yeah, play to the top side.
From
that.
happening up top though, have a 3 versus 3 in this scenario right now. A little bit of damage on Icy. He is not liking that at all. That quickly turns against him, and that is going to be pretty good for Active Rush now, getting a much needed pick. Again, kind of feasting off of this top lane Jax.
I think, they can't do it. I was going to Rift.
It could. A little risky for both sides to do it. They both benefit from having fights in these really small choke points. FTW could go for a big ultimate if he wants to. Right now, Solar Flare is up, but not going to commit to that situation.
Yeah. Getting slow, so
Zoe in all sorts of trouble now. There is the flash, the blast cone as well, but this is going to be Active Rush on the defensive. Papa Skip's coming around the corner, but Zoe goes down in the blink of an eye. Hecarim staying alive as well. Active Rush are very low on this end. Villain Glass is on the wrong side of the map right now. He's going to get run down by the Hecarim. Papa Skip's trying to go on to 96 here, but Lucian able to survive that burst damage. Gimpy coming in for some damage, but it is not going to matter. The Curse of Said Mummy is only going to be for himself on this, and that is an ace before the 20-minute marker.
Yeah, I think Villain was lagging behind.
No, I think all of Active Rush are lagging a little bit right now.
Oh wait, Gimpy's lagging.
Gimpy, well, not too surprising. He's had 2 DCs so far this game. A bit of a rough time for him. Has, definitely not gotten those Amumu ultis off as quickly as he has went in. So, kind of speaks that there's a little bit of delay on his input. So, very rough stuff for Active Rush right now. They found some stuff by Feast on this top lane, but really can't do much to the rest of the map. GPCS looking to clear a ward now. Bit of a rough spot that he finds himself in right now. Just a bit of walk outright though. Pretty tanky on this Leona.
So what do you think Active Rush needs to do to get back?
I mean, at this stage of the game, what, you're 8,000 and climbing gold behind. You do need to look for these opportunities when you can, but at the same time, you're still relying on Amumus to make a mistake. You're relying on them to overdive, relying on Jax to get picked, maybe going too deep into the back line. It's going to be just a very rough spot, and right now, Zoe in a very unfortunate predicament, gonna get chunked down to about 25% HP, and those are the kind of things you don't want to have happen. You don't want to let Amumus get these really quick burst trades out. You want to be able to catch someone out of position, but right now Amumus not letting that happen. And oh no, Villain Glasses
almost goes down.
Almost goes down. The rest of his team able to keep him up, but forced to blow double summoners on that, and the flash and the cleanse both down here. 14-5 on the board right now. And yeah, pretty interesting stuff right now. Very rough game for Active Rush. You're getting very close to that 10,000 gold lead. This middle turret should go down shortly. Damn, I'm looking for something on the hacker. I'm not going to find it.
Now, do you think Amumus are using very efficiently?
They could be going to the other lanes, which I mean they are now. Hecarim just runs down the top half, and Jack's focusing down the bottom half. So, I would say so. Yes. They have this 1-3-1 in effect, and Active Rush, forced to defend what might already be a dead turret, letting that super minion whack on it. So yeah, I'd say they're using it effectively. And Daniel M, again, looking for something over here. Gimpy, bit of a rough spot right now. Able to get the Curse of the Sad Mommy, which should keep him alive, but still chunked very low on this end.
That's fine. You get a pick again.
Yeah, that they are right now, and Knight of 6 and FTWB, again, a little bit of a rough spot. There's an ultimate coming through out of the rest of the team. The turret drops, and so do Active Rush. Villain Glass is trying to get something back, but will not be able to do so. Very rough predicament out of these two teams. Is still Amumus coming on top, not really getting punished for any of these initiations. They've got 2 kills so far. Active Rush trying to answer something back. Gimpy not able to land the bandage to us. Going into the rest of the team here. Pretty tanky on the Amumu. Yeah, oh boy, so we're looking at that 12,000 gold lead climbing. Actually now we're at a, 12,000. And this game, very difficult to come back from. I know Active Rush put a little bit of time into what they wanted to and did not want to pick here, but unfortunately nothing really working.
Yeah, and we could see it on how much impact the junglers have in these games.
Yep. So yeah, so far very interesting. This is just unfortunate for Active Rush, like they come in hot, #1 team in the playoffs. I assume a little bit of a lack of practice, enjoying that first seed bye maybe too much. And very interesting that we have both of the first seeds in IBSG and Gold Plat kind of falling down to 4th place.
Yeah. What do you think happened besides practice?
I don't really know. Practice is the one thing I can go to. If you don't practice, generally you tend to look worse as opposed if you did. But right now this is just you give the top half working on it, and that's about it. Daniel, I'm looking for something on towards Dally still, and they will be able to find it. Knight of 6 picks up the kill. Papa skips into the back line, but not able to find the LeBlanc and the Lucian on the end of Amumus. Will just get focused down and taken out. Icy goes on a killing spree. FWB picks up his 2nd kill. The flash coming through FGWB can be the first in trouble now, and so will be Villain Glass. As Icy diving on the tower, but not even going to go down. Villain Glass is the next on the hit list, and that is an ace for the Amumus.
Was.
Yeah, definitely.
It just shows how bad they are. They dove between 2 towers. As if, well, Leona went in
Yeah, definitely. Um, So, I mean, that was probably the best bet that Active Rush had. You know, a couple members of Moose did get low in that situation, but it's not low enough to pick up any of these kills, and it's going to be the Baron Asher soon to follow. Active Rush kind of have to go for something here, but, you know, looking at that jungle difference, another 3-level advantage in favor of Daniel Am.
In the jungle alone, there's a 5k advantage. Jungle. Hecarim's 5k up from Amumu. Making it like a dud of the team's gold. Guess on Hecarim.
Yeah, it's not,
A dud of the reason why it's a 15k almost. It's a 15k and Hecarim has 5,000 of that.
yeah, definitely. So, very rough stuff for them to deal with in this game so far. And again, right now, Mumu's going in on something fine. A lot of damage on the end of Active Rush, but it's still going to be a rough predicament for that they find themselves in. No one Active Rush dies, but I mean, they're too low to contest the rest of this Baron Ash front. If they try to, they might find themselves in even more trouble. 2 members going down so far. A third is very soon to follow, and that will be the game and the series on the end for Active Rush. This is absolutely ridiculous. Mumu's coming out huge in this 3rd place matchup. Papa Skips with a great stun, but it does not matter anymore. This is going to be a 30-minute hour-long series coming through out of Mumu's as they take home the 3rd place. Yeah, very interesting stuff. How do you feel about that one, Will?
I I felt like Activist kept it together at the beginning, but then all the DC happened, which was unfortunate. Yeah, but Amumu did play good. They macroed really well and played and microed really well too.
Yeah, definitely. So, very interesting stuff so far. So, all in all, let's look at some of those statistics behind this matchup.
The damage numbers are closer together this game.
All right. Yeah, damage numbers a little bit closer, but at the same time, this is still Moose coming on top. 17,000 damage out of Knight of 6, doing a very good job on this Lucian. And yeah, and their Moose did great in this series. Active Rush just a little unfortunate, and yeah, very good stuff out of them. Let's hover down to that vision score. Almost everyone buying a control ward. Unfortunately, Zoe did not buy one, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter much anymore. Daniel M dealing 16 control wards purchased. That's pretty poggers.
Oh yeah, I guess. I I mean, when you're 5,000 gold ahead, what else do you buy? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a rough spot. Any closing thoughts you have for this, Will?
I you know, I felt like the DCs were unfortunate, but couldn't be helped from Gimpy.
Yeah, definitely pretty rough stuff, but all that will not be the end of our duo esports action. we are going to have the grand finals between the 5th seed Enigmatic Gaming and the 2nd seed Midwest Express right around the corner. That will be around you at 4 p.m. EST. So, any thoughts on that series, Will?
Uh, hmm, can't say. I think I think hmm, I think it's going to be a close series. Since let me see. Hold on, let me look at the standings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So, all in all, very good stuff. And we will see you very soon with the series between Midwest Express and Enigmatic Gaming very soon.